Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. I hope you're having a phenomenal day. Taking a quick look here again at Bitcoin, which is currently riding the struggle bus. We're going to see if this can continue much lower or if we are due for a potential correction to the upside. It's kind of a jagged downtrend here. So if you're new to the channel, just know I love to teach people to trade. I hope you can learn something today. Obviously, if you want to become a better trader, cryptocash.tech is a site. Link down below. Check out our awesome Discord, Telegram, and Twitter communities, and just be happy to have you along. Check it out. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to reach out in any way, shape, or form. So this is the last 7 days of Bitcoin's liquidation levels. And as we talked yesterday, again, that level at low 42,000 range got swept pretty hard. And the next closest range, just to kind of give you perspective, is 39,500. Now, is that a possibility? Sure. Anything's a possibility, really. Probability, not quite. We still got a lot of support between now and then, but generally speaking, it's best to just kind of hope for the best. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst, if you will. And in this case, 41,500 is the next closest liquidation level, which is effectively the new liquidations, new levels of liquidation that occurred after the most recent. In other words, these are some late longs, if you will, or more recent longs taking positions. And that's just something to be mindful of. It's pretty small right now. We have a larger accumulation at 44,500, but again, we got a decent amount of resistance between here and there too. So just some things we want to be mindful of. So really not like that shouldn't affect your trading 100%, but it does help you understand kind of where things are heading. Let's pull the fibs out just a little bit further here, kind of see what's going on. But we are working within these channels here. So again, we got this 0.382 bounce off up to 0.786, kind of just normal range bound activity. Okay, so Bitcoin is not in a ascending or descending trend right now. It's really just kind of bouncing around between 42K upwards of about 43. We could just say 44. 42 to 44K is essentially the range. Okay. So once we break free from that range, we can identify a trend potential, but at this point, we can presume the price is going to come down to 42K and bounce and continue back higher. Okay. Not exactly, rocket science, but also not exactly an exact science either. So what we want to look at is the daily time frame and kind of get some perspective on where we're at. So we're kind of jumping up and down within the 20-day SMA. I don't love trading that. Me personally, again, I don't like to touch Bitcoin when it behaves the way that it has been. So the truth is that Bitcoin selling off here today caused a massive, massive ripple. All those holiday profits are going away. So hopefully you took some profits between now and the last couple of days. I know our community took a monster amount of profits, so congrats to our members on that. And also a good job, for a lot of people that were able to sell their Solana at, in the 100+ range. It's definitely taken a nosedive here. We'll review that here next, but definitely some things we want to kind of pay attention to. But anyways, Bitcoin pulling back here today has a lot to do with that, with the whole Bitcoin dominance equation kind of shifting gears. What we want to look at here right now, though, is the MACD divergence that's diverging still. That hasn't changed. Yesterday we were looking at a plateau and the price maybe shifting gears. Not quite the case here today. Stochastic RSI swinging down. We're over 50 on the RSI. That's the only constellation I can see on the daily here that's kind of holding the price action in place. We're above the 50-day SMA as well. So there's some consolation here, but being kind of within the 20-day SMA, that's not a sweet spot by any stretch. Okay, so there's no real oh, okay, great. This is a perfect situation. I'm going to take a long position now. No, there's none of that right now. Again, a lot of indecision, a lot of transition, so to speak, which is half the reason why I'm being careful with not sending a whole ton of signals right now, because I honestly don't like the way that Bitcoin's been behaving, and a lot of altcoins have that knee-jerk reaction. So it's important to just kind of be patient, right? Struggle. I know those are 4-letter words for a lot of people here. That's fighting words, right? Patient. What did you just say? Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Pump the brakes, though. If you're going to learn a thing or two from my channel, the thing is to recognize that it's important to kind of be mindful and stay on the sidelines. Sometimes it's best. The best trade you can take is no trade at all. Okay? Just some friendly advice. Okay. Anyways, enough preaching there. Let's just go ahead and wrap this up. We are in a precarious situation here. We're now currently under the 100-day SMA on the 4-hour. Granted, we haven't closed this candle yet. We got 47 minutes left. But the truth is, we're not in a good place. Okay, so this is not really ideal conditions for a long position. I'd lean a little bit more towards a short considering what I see there. However, again, it's not always black and white. You don't just close along and open a short instantly. That's not how it works. Yes, there is a reverse button that likes to, it's like a little red button. You have to press it, right? What's this do? Yeah, be careful. Careful reversing at all times, because there's always gray areas, and it's sometimes best to get out, wait for a good entry instead of just jumping right into the opposite direction. However, we can see stochastic RSI is swinging down, kind of give us the indication we're moving in the downward direction. Our traditional RSI, money flow index, all below 50. That's a truly bearish sign, in my personal opinion. And when it's below that level, it's very common or likely for the price to continue lower. Same thing here as well. We got a stochastic, or correction, a MACD divergence on the horizon. Hasn't officially diverged yet, but we're getting close. And the stochastic is telling us that it's going to happen, or we're moving towards that. So again, being below all these areas here, basically everything we see so far is pretty bearish in the overall sense. No overextension here at this point. Liquidity levels we've already talked about have been swept. There's a lower liquidity level there at about 41,800. That could be the next target. Okay, again, we kind of already identified that here, where there's this low range here at about 41.5. Okay, so liquidity 41.5, 41.7. I wouldn't be surprised if the price sweeps down to that level first before recovering or continuing to the downside. Okay. Again, most things are pointing down here at this point. Let's see what the hourly tells us. Probably a likely similar scenario here. I'm willing to guess we have, I wouldn't say we've officially broken below the cloud, but we've almost officially done so. In other words, I like to wait for a couple hours before I'm convinced that the price action is actually broken below the cloud. And if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, what the heck is cloud stuff? Just search for cloud or Ichimoku on my channel. You'll find an instructional video on how to utilize this. But the lagging span is free and clear of the price action. That's basically a bearish sign. We can also see conversion lines below the baseline. And with us peaking below the cloud here, there's a stronger chance the price will continue lower. So we pretty much got all green lights on most timeframes to essentially take a short position. Now, I'm not going to short this coin because we already have a short open, okay? And we are actually technically in the green right now because we averaged into our position at 42, 43, and 44,000, right? So again, all the more reason to consider positioning into your trades and positioning out. In other words, if you average in and average out, you're much more successful and you're going to take profit more frequent. And that is where the money's at, okay? A lot of folks just kind of show these, 100% gains and 50x leverage and all these crazy stats, when truth is, if you take profit as you go along, you're going to be much more profitable, even if it does continue to run. Yes, you might take more out initially, but in the long run, if it turns itself around, you'll be super happy you didn't leave money on the table. Anyways, that's what we do in our community. We have a lot of different profit scenarios there, but most of mine are averaging in and averaging out of my trades. Long story short here, maybe consider a short. I would just say statistically more probable at this point for the price action to go down further than it would to go up. Just a thought. All right, folks, it's kind of where we're at there for Bitcoin. Last thing but not least, important as well. If you struggle with KYC or VPN requirements, be sure to check out Bitunix, phenomenal exchange. Link down below for this guy here. If you register before the end of the year and satisfy the requirements, you're going to go ahead and get some pretty healthy benefit rewards, but that's available until the year end, okay? So just know 12/31, it's discontinues. But either way, if you have questions on that, let me know. But we use them primarily because there's no KYC or VPN requirements. Thanks again, Bitunix, and my community and everyone else. It's a great part of my life. Greatly appreciate you very much. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.